Good morning. Wake up. Wake up. It is. I know what you're saying to yourself. Man, it is way too early for a Friday for this. And that is coincidentally the new name of this podcast. It is the Way Too Early for a Friday podcast presented by Garage Gym Life. I am John Greaves III. I am the founder of Garage Gym Life. And I decided to wake you up on this Friday. And I'm going to hang out with you guys, help you stay motivated as you get your day going. Maybe some of you are already downstairs in your home gyms and you are working out. Maybe you are just kind of going through your day and trying to you barely just got up and you shuffled, you hustling and shuffling to the kitchen. Oh, look at this, we got some people already chiming in. Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. Well, look, here's the thing. First of all, this is not the sort of podcast that you have to sit down and watch the entire time. Like I said, you're getting your day started. You are getting, that maybe you just woke the kids up like I did. I just woke my daughter up. Maybe you guys just woke the kids up, whatever. But what I want you to do is, you got me on right now. If you need to, go in the car or whatever, just put me on the phone. And I promise you won't actually have to, for most of this podcast, you won't actually have to watch. You'll be able to just listen to me as you go through your day, and I'm going to try to keep it entertaining. At 7 o'clock, I'm going to be joined by Mike Reed from Micro Gainz, and he's going to be giving us a preview of what to expect from HomeGymCon. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and do a roll call. So I see that, like I said, some of you guys are already on here. Shout out to my man, Justin Holland. Thank you for being here. If you guys have questions, I said that you don't have to actually watch this entire time. You can actually just look. You can listen. Looking and watching are the same thing. It's early for me too, right? You can actually just listen to the podcast. But let's say you have questions. So go ahead, put those questions in the live chat. If you have questions for me about the podcast, about Garage Gym Life, or anything like that, and I'll go ahead and I'll answer those questions. And then let's say you have questions for Mike Reed about Micro Gainz. You're like, hey, what is a Micro Gain? What are those? Or if you have questions about HomeGymCon, put those questions in the live chat. And then I'm going to go ahead and answer those questions if they pertain to me. And if they pertain to Mike Reed, then I will go ahead and I'll ask him those questions when he comes on. But let's go ahead and let's move into our next segment, which is called, What Are You Doing at Your House? All right. And so this consists of let's say, people who have messaged me on Instagram, or they've tagged me on Instagram and they've shared their videos. Well, I normally share those videos on Instagram, but now because of what we're doing here, we're kind of changing the format. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of the highlights of stuff that I get sent on Instagram. Okay, before we jump into all of that, please go ahead and hit that like button for me, all right? Hit that like button, subscribe, help me reach 50,000 subscribers, because we want this thing to grow. And that is something that's super huge and important to me. So I appreciate you guys for helping me out, all right? Now, I know you're like, all right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right, let's go ahead and let's get started with our first clip. And this comes from Amber at Amber Klein 7. Amber is a Spartan racer. So let's see here. Let's check this out here. All right. Let's play this thing. So it looks like she's altering her grip. So this is how most people do TRXs. Looks like she flips her hands around a little bit, makes it a little bit more vertical. Straps under the arms, palms facing inward, arms close to the body. Okay. Oh, she says it alters your vector angle to make it more challenging. Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Let's see. What's the next one that we got here? There. Let's go ahead. That's pretty straightforward. Oh, look. It's a PR. All right. I love PRs. Let's go ahead and let's jump into that one. Oh, up. Come on. Up. Come on. You got to lock those hips out. Come on. Hey, don't you hitch. Yeah. There you go. This is the homie Hunter at Hunter_ATC at CPT. It's Carrie Ann. She's been a follower of Garage Gym Life for a while, back to when we were just on Instagram. And she's really been pushing herself. She's actually used strength training to gain a lot of muscle, and she's always pushing herself in her home gym. Let's go ahead and check out that PR one more time. I believe this is 335 pounds, she said. Takes one last whiff of that nose tort. Get your mind right. Nothing clears your mind like nose tort. Makes you think about nothing else but what you're doing. All right, good. There you go. Up, clears the knees, and a little bit of stop right there. But no, come on. Push your hips through. Push them through. Push them through. Come on. Come on. Fight, fight, fight. There you go, Carrie Ann. Awesome job. I like that. I absolutely love it when somebody pushes themselves in their home gym, when they are motivated, when they're motivated to, I don't know, they're motivated by their goals. They're not motivated by the crowd. And the thing about being in a home gym is you got to kind of like figure out what's going to push you, because for me, I have to go downstairs, right? There's a lot of distractions in between my bedroom. You know, I wake up and I lift when I first get up. There are a lot of distractions when I first wake up, between me when I first wake up and going out the door, down the hallway, and going downstairs into my home gym. There's a lot of moving parts right there. And it's always super easy for me to say, man, I don't know if I don't know if I got it in me today, I have some things that I do to make it a little bit easier to do that, to make that happen, but it's still not easy. So when someone is motivated by a goal, that's one of the things that I do. I have a goal in front of me and I say, all right, this is what I want to do. And when I first want to just stay in bed and roll over one more time, I try to remind myself of that goal. Like, hey, look, the way my training is set up is straight up. Hey, it's like bricks in a wall. It's like bricks in a wall, right? So I tell myself, hey, if you don't get up right now, you're not going to add that extra brick, and you're going to get to the date that you've set for yourself, and you're going to be mad at yourself. And you don't want to be mad at you. It's okay if it's somebody else's fault, but how you going to get mad at yourself when it's just you? You're the reason why you did not succeed. All right. Oh, hey, we got somebody else checking in. The homely Ashley Bromiak, who is going to be joining us next week. She's going to be the guest next week. Ashley's going to answer your questions. So you guys make sure that you are here for that. We are going to be live once again, bright and early on the way too early for a Friday podcast. So you guys make sure that you are here for that. All right, let's go ahead and let's jump into our next one. This is also a PR. Let's check it out. Hey, let's see. Savage Pixie. This is Jennifer Martinez. All right. She's actually in meat prep right now. So it's really cool to get a PR in meat prep. All right. Gets the hand off. Lock it out. Down. Come on. Push. All right. So that was a little bit of a touch and go bench. That's obviously not how she's going to lift in competition, because in competition you have to pause. But this is, it's still a PR. This is the most weight she's ever lifted. And from looking at her Instagram, I know that Jennifer has had, she's been pushing for this goal for a while. You see, it says lifetime, she says lifetime bench PR is 200.50 pounds. She's got some, what they call in powerlifting, they call them chips, but it's fractional plates, which is ironic because at 7:00, I'm going to be joined by Mike Reed to talk about Micro Gainz, which are fractional plates. And the first set of Micro Gainz plates were fractional plates that he made for the bar because of his training program at the time. Let's check out this PR one more time. See what Jennifer's got going on. All right. See her getting wedged in there, getting that good tight arch. So she's getting a good tight arch. All right. And she's going to unrack. All right. Gets the hand off. Lock it out down her chest and push. Nice. Locks that out. Really nice. I love that. That is outstanding. All right. When the thing, you see, so Jennifer had a handoff there, but one of the things that I like doing, because I don't have anyone to hand off to me typically in my home gym, is I have shaved my J-cups down. So there's very, very shallow. So I can get my arms out to lock out and unrack by just pulling the bar out instead of having to lift up and over, and then that's kind of screws up my position. So if you don't have a handoff person, that's one thing you can do. Another option that you can try is to get a set of those the monolift arms. But as long as you have J hooks with a very shallow lip, that is something that you can very easily use to do a nice unrack without losing the tightness. I mean, think about how elaborate our setups are as lifters. Our setups are very, very elaborate sometimes, right? And then you go to unrack and you unrack by pushing it up, pressing the bar out of the J hooks. You just screwed up your entire position that you worked so hard to establish. Why would you do that? So that it's great to have a handoff person, but if you don't, make sure that you set up something in your home gym so that you can unrack by yourself without losing that tight position. All right, let's go to our next one. All right, this is, I believe, from the UK. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, that's my guy Matt Welch. So Matt is at Tattoo Saying. You see, for those who are just listening now with you on your phone, remember you can take us with you. You don't have to watch this. You can be driving down the road and listen to this. But if you are still watching, you can see that he's got that Garage Gym Life banner in that corner. I'm a little bit upset. I'm a little sad at you, Matt, because I don't know if he's watching right now, because Matt is in the UK. And in the UK, he was telling me you can't actually, they're very, very strict. And bosses won't allow you to actually like have radio at your desk or anything like that. So he can't actually be, so unless, well, it's getting close to his lunch break. Maybe he's able to watch. But Matt, I'm sad at you because if you watch this on the replay, because you got my banner crooked. We need to help you out, get that banner back straight. But man, I really appreciate you being. Matt was one of the first people to buy a Garage Gym Life banner, and it motivated me so much seeing that banner arrive in the UK. Man, it was like you guys don't really understand how it feels like when you create something, or some of you might have business of your own, but when you create something and somebody thinks enough of it to spend their hard-earned money on a thing that you created that used to exist only in your head, that is such a huge, I call it fuel for my fire. So that's a beautiful thing. So Matt, I appreciate that. So Matt just actually hit a pretty significant PR. He competes in strongman, and he hit a pretty significant PR in the deadlift. It was over 600 pounds. So I got to hurry up and catch up, Matt, because I've been trying to get to 600 pounds for a minute. All right, let's go ahead and check that out one more time. Looks like he's just getting some squats in. By the way, this is in his shed. Matt is lifting in his shed, or what they call in UK, the back garden gym. Yeah, just knocking out some reps in the squat right there. Nothing wrong with that. So this is Matt's shed, and we actually have the gym tour as a time lapse of how he built it. He built it in his back garden, and it's really a nice setup there. He doesn't even have a radio in there. He doesn't have a radio, doesn't have a TV. He said, he just likes to just go in there and just lift, and I can't get mad at that. You need to straighten that banner though, man. All right, here is the last one. All right, the last one, and then we're going to switch to our topic. And then once again, as I said, at 7 a.m., I'll be joined by Mike Reed from Micro Gainz. So there is the last one right here. I actually just got this one. And I for most of them, there was music, so I had to cut the music off because I don't want to get a copyright strike from YouTube. But this one, I left the sound on. So let's go ahead and let's add this one here. Let's go. This is from Nino Frappuccino. And it's kind of cutting it off, but it says, "Wife, can you clean the kitchen?" And you guys can see him in the kitchen. My man's got the flip-flops on, and he's doing a clean from the floor, not a hand clean. I don't know how much weight that is because I don't know. He's moving a little too fast for me to tell what the weight is on that red bumper plate, on what the plates are. But I don't care. He is doing cleans in. Oh, is it just a clean? Clean and jerk. Yeah, he's doing clean and jerk in his kitchen in flip-flops. Well done, sir. Well done. All right. Now, number one, I hope your marriage is okay. Because if your wife, I know well, first of all, she's probably used to those antics because this doesn't look the sort of thing that he's like. This is the first time he's done it. Checking out his Instagram, he's got a video of himself snatching in the kitchen, doing snatches in the kitchen. This sort of shenanigan is his wife is probably resigned to it. You know, once you've been married for a while, your wife pretty much gives up on fixing you, and she just says, "Okay, this is the best we're gonna do. This is the best we're gonna have," and she just lets you be, right? So she's probably accustomed to this, but I don't know, man. Doing clean and jerks in the kitchen, and that's a tight space. That you a brave man, but hey, well done, sir. Well done. Excellent work by you. That is hilarious. All right. So if you guys want to have your stuff featured here on the Way Too Early for a Friday podcast, what you need to do is you want to follow Garage Gym Life on Instagram. And then you want to go ahead and tag me, right? So all you have to do is tag at Garage Gym Life on Instagram, and then you can have your home workout videos featured here on the podcast, as well as I'll obviously repost them on Instagram as well. But once a week, I'll grab the best ones and I will feature them here as part of the warm-up for the Way Too Early for a Friday podcast. Also, I want to know from you guys real quick, if you are watching, what do you guys think of the new format? Because my goal is to have a segment. In my opinion, a lot of home gym content is quite frankly boring. And it makes you a prisoner of your TV or your laptop, right? You have to be watching it. And what I wanted to create was something that's more like a morning drive type format that you can just, like, my wife watches stuff just pretty much she'll throw something on as part of getting ready for the day. And she'll just have the phone somewhere. She's got her AirPods in and she's just walking around the house. And the phone might not be anywhere near her. So she's actually listening to morning shows. I know that, you've got morning shows that come on TV, like Live with Kelly and Mark. You've got, in the UK, they have a show called This Morning. It's these morning shows that are intended to get you going. And then you've got, obviously, morning drive radio shows. So I want to know what you guys think of the format. So let's go ahead and jump into the comment section real fast before I get started with our topic. So Ashley said, this is about the getting started thing. She said, checking the phone in the morning is a no-no. Ashley wakes up at the crack of dawn. All right. She gets up, rolls out of bed, wakes up to all the roosters, and then she gets started. Right. And so she says, checking the phone in the morning is a no-no. I hear that. It's easy to get distracted by emails and texts. And before you know it, the morning time is gone. And that's important because Ashley is a coach. So she probably has messages from her clients that she has to address. She probably has people tagging her because she is an IFBB pro. She's also a sponsored athlete with Metabolic Nutrition. So she's got a bunch of stuff. She's got stuff from people like me. Hey, Ashley, can you do this? Right. And then just normal texts that you would get from your friends. She's got all that stuff coming at her. Right. And so I can understand why she says, look, I'm not even going to check my phone until I first address what I need to address. And this is probably good advice that she gives to her clients as well. All right. My man, Justin Holland. So he said he loves his monoliths for monolift handles for the handoff thing. And we have a tour of Justin's home gym here on the channel as well. The title is called There's a Lot of Stuff in This Basement Gym. And it's one of our it's not the most recent gym tour. It's the one before that. And we were there because Justin was doing a lift for charity. So as part of the Garage Gym competition, we went there and we live streamed him lifting in his basement by himself because he was lifting to benefit the Papa Bear Foundation, which benefits at-risk youth in the state of Maryland, which is where I actually entered the United States. I'm an immigrant, for those of you who don't know, immigrant to the United States. I became an American citizen after my service with the United States Marine Corps. I actually got citizenship after deploying to Iraq, which is a whole different story. I'll tell you guys on another episode. But Justin said he also, all right, good. I appreciate that. So Justin, you like the segments. You like me breaking things up. Well, I'm glad you said that because now it's time for the next segment. There we go. All right. So this is a tip. This is real quick. This is a tip that I have for you guys for the for the time of year we're in. So it's January. And a lot of you guys have health savings accounts from last year, and you may not, like me, you weren't able to spend all of the funds that were in your account. So you end up with money left over that you're going to lose because you have to use it, or you have to use it, or you're going to lose it. The IRS is not going to let you go out and buy, power racks and whatnot for your house, unfortunately. But there's a surprising number of things that you can get that do match your fitness goals, possibly, and they are HSA, health savings account eligible. So, for example, obviously I use my I typically use my health savings account to pay for like chiropractor visits, okay? But what you can also do is, if you can check and see if something that you want is eligible by going on either, let's see here, you can go to hsastore.com. They got a complete list of HSA eligible items there, and I'll link that in the description for this video. But you can also just go on Amazon, which is where a lot of people shop anyway, and type in HSA eligible in the browser on Amazon, not in the regular browser, but in the Amazon browser, and it'll pull up a whole bunch of stuff. They got all kinds of stuff from women's hygiene products to ice packs, and the ice packs leads to what I'm talking about. So I was able to get a Normatec Go, and that's the video that you guys just saw. That was my most recent reviews of the Normatec Go. These are compression sleeves that you can use to walk around in. They basically just work on your calves. But I've been doing a lot of running, and they were key. They've been key in helping me get my calves to not be so tight, because my calves have become extremely tight and it was starting to screw up my squat depth. So I wanted something that was going to kind of address that, get some of the knots out, and just help it relax. And so I reached out. So I checked out the Normatec Go, and I was like, oh, wait, these are HSA health savings account eligible. Well, guess who's got a little bit of money left over in the health savings account? Bam. So that's how I got those. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not an accountant. I'm also not a lawyer, and I don't do tax prep. So don't just take my word for it. You need to reach out to whoever helps you with your taxes, because if the IRS comes harassing you about my advice, don't call me. I can't help you. Okay, I'm not going to be there in court, to help you out with that. But I know that if you spend on things that are health savings account eligible, you are going to be able to not, basically you're paying for something that with money that you kind of would lose anyway. So to me, that's a win-win. All right. Another thing is, first of all, I don't recommend doing this unless it's the end of the year and you've got a surplus. All right. You don't want to end up having to get braces for your kid, and and then you say, oh, well, I spend all the money on, compression sleeves. You don't do that. But you are able to, at the end of the year, there's like a little grace period. You can use it then. But also go back and look at stuff that you did purchase throughout the year and see if it's health savings account eligible, even if you didn't purchase it, with that in mind. Because like I said, there are a surprising number of things that are health savings account eligible that you can purchase. Okay. And so that's something that I think is going to be helpful for you. It's helped me out. I've been a home gym owner since 2001. So that's part of the reason for this channel, is to give you guys tips that I have come across that helps me out in my home gym journey. All right. So that was the tip for the day. And now we're going to move right into our next segment. And that is our guest, Michael Reed, is here. My man Mike has arrived. So we're going to go ahead and bring him in here. Real quick background, Mike Reed is the founder of Micro Gainz. Micro Gainz is a company that makes fractional plates for your barbell and for your dumbbell. And now we already had fractional plates for the bar, but Mike made it so that these are calibrated plates. And so these, and then he put a little bit of a spin on it. So Micro Gainz does something, it fits a hole in the market that wasn't there before. And we're going to be talking about that and HomeGymCon. All right. So let me go ahead and add Mike to the stage. Boom. Mike.
Hey, good morning.
What's up?
How are you?
Are you awake?
Hey,
are you awake?
I'm awake. Yeah.
He's looking at me like, why are you so loud right now?
Wow.
Why are you so loud? I'm like, hey, wake up.
I'm excited
Get
to be
up.
here.
Let's go.
Excited. Yeah.
Do you know how much pre-workout I've drank?
Probably more than me. Yeah.
Oh, man, thanks for being here.
Yeah, excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, man. For those of you who don't know, I dragged Mike out of bed, right? I didn't go to his house and drag him out, but we were talking about doing this. Originally, we were going to have you on at
Weeks from
9.
Now.
Yeah, it was going to be weeks from now. It was going to be at 9 o'clock. And then I just kind of noticed and said, hey, we need to juice something up. We need to get let's move the time slot up because I want to be able to catch people before they get to work while they're getting their day going. So I actually, and shout out to Justin Holland, because I actually reached out to him and said, hey, man, you work from home, but what would be like some of the things that would help you could be tuned in and engaged with the morning drive. So you can kind of blame Justin, who is watching. I don't know if he's dropping his kid off at school yet, so he may not be able to chat right now, but he is watching. So if you'd like to send out any hatred to Justin, this is your opportunity. Tell him how much in fact, here you go. Let's go. Go ahead. Tell him how you feel about it. There, right there.
Oh, there you go. He said not yet, so he hasn't.
Because it is all his fault.
He likes the mornings. All right. I said I'm not like a super early morning person. Like I'm up at like 7:30 every day, but I work out in the evening, so I'm not a morning guy for that. So
okay. Well, all right. Let's go ahead here and let's jump into our topic, because I went ahead. First of all, I lied to you. And here's the thing. I was feeling so confident last night too. I was like, all right, all set. I got everything going. I've done everything. I'm ready for tomorrow. That's a lie, because I told you I was going to send you the questions ahead of time, and I sure did not. But
could be anything today.
Hey, it's a box of chocolates right now. All right, you don't know what you're gonna get. All right, but I will say that most of the questions would be stuff that you should know. All right, here's an example. You got your second patent, and congratulations on that, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people who create products, they kind of stumble at the patent process. Like they make stuff and then they don't take the time to patent their invention, because for them it's just a matter of, okay, I got it out there and I need to get the word out. I need to get people to start buying my stuff, and they don't think about protecting their product. So shout out to you for getting the patent, not just one patent, but 2 patents on something that is, not a little bit, but revolutionary in the home gym space and just fitness equipment in general. So for anyone who's not familiar with Micro Gainz, talk a little bit about what got you started. Did you have any prior experience with manufacturing when you came up with that first Micro Gainz prototype?
So did you saw my post from yesterday?
No, I kind of know the answer to this, because I went on your website. I saw the about. But I did see I did see your prototype. Yeah,
the prototype. Yeah,
so
I did a post actually about that yesterday. So
I saw that.
If you haven't seen it, you got to go yesterday. My post on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok is a post where we have the original Micro Gainz dumbbell plate prototype, and then it sort of transforms into the new product that you see every day. So I do not have like a manufacturing background. I have a business background and a retail background. So I worked for 15 years in grocery management, worked for companies like Walmart, worked for companies like Waaay Markets, which is a Northeastern grocery store chain. And I did that for a lot of years. I got into weightlifting in early 2010s. And I had a basement gym. I guess I built like a power rack in my basement out of wood. I have a really cool couple old pictures of that. And I started barbell lifting and got into like the starting strength style, doing like 3 sets of 5, the squats, the bench, the deadlift, the overhead press, and eventually just hit a plateau and realized, like, how do I get up? Like, you always go up by like 5 pounds every time you do these workouts. You're benching whatever it is, 200 pounds, you go to 205 and 210, then 215, et cetera, until you hit a plateau. And I thought, well, maybe there's like smaller plates out there. And I remember going on Amazon in like 2015, 2016, and looking to see if there was like micro plates available. or what I thought was microplates, and there wasn't a lot. And what was there was made overseas, and I thought expensive. And I thought, you know what, I can probably make these myself. So
Well, hold on. Let me cut you off for a second here because,
sure.
yeah. So that was actually on my mind. It's like, all right, we already had fractional plates.
Yes, it was there.
You know, and it wasn't just so we had them for several reasons. One of the biggest of which is they use them in powerlifting. Because they call them chips.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were already so you already had a source of fractional calibrated plates out there. But what was it that you say, hey, I need to do something different? What was the difference maker in your mind as far as creating your own product?
Well, initially I thought I could make them cheaper. I knew I could make them in the US. And then I looked at a lot of the reviews on Amazon at the time, and this is like 2016, so almost eight years ago. Right. And I started like compiling a list of like what people didn't like about those fractional plates, you know, like the negative reviews, right? It wasn't calibrated, the paint chipped off, didn't like how it looked, whatever, right? And I started taking those notes down.
These are problems to solve.
Yep. And then I sort of went and figured out how to solve them and make it into like one kind of neat package. And my original fractional plates, which we don't make now, were steel weight plates that we got cut. We got like 25 of each plate, quarter pound, half pound, 3/4 pound, 1 pound. I went to like a laser cutter, and then they cut them out. And then I took them, cleaned them, and then I hung them on a piece of plywood in my shed. I put a bunch of nails up, hung them, and then I hand spray painted all of them with like one of those high velocity, low pressure guns. Oh, wow. And then I got stickers, and I put a Micro Gainz sticker on the top and then like the weight underneath it. And then I actually started selling those, and I did them all in black because it was just easier. I wasn't going to do multicolor. And then started selling those on eBay in February of 2017. So it didn't even have a website whenever I first started. And I remember I had them on for one day, and I sold 2 sets to the first ever Micro Gainz customer. I don't remember who it is. I could probably look at my eBay account, but they bought 2 of the 8-plate sets. So typically most people buy them in an 8-plate set, which is 2 quarter pounders, 2 half, 2 3/4, and 2 1 pounders. So you have a 5-pound set. Sometimes I noticed on like Amazon at the time, no one sold pair sets. So I started selling, you could buy it just if you want a pair of quarter pounders, pair of half pounders, etc. So, but that was the original product, was the 8-plate set from Micro Gainz. And then I just, shipped it from my house. No manufacturing knowledge other than like, I just had to get the laser cutting the weight right. That was a big thing for me. And then, we just started kind of expanding. I originally really got the pair, like I got 25 of each plate so I could get a pair for myself. Because like I said, I don't think I envisioned making this a business. And then I would just sell the other couple sets that I received. And then as it gone on, we realized we needed like 1 1/4 pound plates. So we made those. Then we started making like 10-plate sets. So you get quarter pound through 1 1/4. Always selling through on eBay for the first several months. Got onto Amazon in the middle of 2017, like June, July. Didn't even actually have a website until 2018, like March, April 2018. So importantly there, you don't need a website to start a business. So, and you can get started right away. And then eventually we have the version that we have out now, which looks like these. And this is something that probably people have seen. This is our Micro Gainz fractional plate. These are the black ones. We sell quarter through 1 1/4, and we also sell these in different colors now. But this is the newer version. They're all the same diameter, and they're just varying thicknesses. And we have like the logo and stuff is pressed in. And we got these started in like mid to late 2018, got away from the steel because it got a little expensive, figured out a better manufacturing technique and a way to keep the price down. So we make some of the
hold on. So that's not made out of, is that made out of metal though?
Yep. This is pressed metal. Yep. This is steel.
Okay. Okay. You said it's just not steel. I got you.
It is. Yes, it is. It's carbon and iron powder. And a lot of people aren't familiar with the powder metal process. Before I go into like deep about that, that's what a lot of our products are.
Don't kill my podcast, man. I'm just kidding. Actually, to be honest with you, a lot of people, I mean, given the demographic that watches this show, they're probably like, yeah, okay, tell us all about it. Because we'll nerd out over at UHMW. So they're probably like, oh, heck yeah, tell me more.
Most people, powder metal's big in the automotive space, but we're the only weightlifting company that I know of that makes it on these. And like we always say, we make like the best USA made fractional plates, and they're calibrated within 5 grams of those needed weights. So we make that's something unique for us when it comes to the barbell plates.
Describe the calibration process a little bit for me?
Sure.
And as you guys can see from the down below the ticker. You guys can check out all of Mike's products at microgainz.com. You guys want to make sure that you check that out when this program is over, when this episode's over, go and check him out because he's got some cool stuff in there. But describe the calibration process a little bit for me. I don't mean like anything proprietary. Don't tell me any secrets, but like, number one, do you guys do it yourselves? Do you have an independent lab or something like that?
Yeah,
Like
so
test it for you. And if you do it yourself, do most people, we see calibrated plates all over the place, but what's that calibration process like?
So like I said, these are made from like a press metal. And how this happens is they take a special blend, I would say, of carbon and iron powder. They put it into a press and they press it at a high tonnage. And that gives you this, like it could be 50 tons, 100 tons per square inch. It presses into this shape. And then they take that and they put it through a sintering oven at about 2000 degrees. Basically, it runs through a sintering oven on a conveyor belt. It heats up to the point of about melting, I guess, the metal, and it's like metallurgy is the process. And then
that's sintering, SINTERING, not centering. Like
that's correct. Sintering,
SINTERING. Okay.
Yep. So it goes to that oven on a conveyor belt, basically melts, and then as it sort of reforms, when it cools down, it forms into this product, which is almost as high a density as steel. And the reason they can get it so accurate is because they literally have like the computer controls how much powder goes into the chute, and then you can control that within the gram. So, and there's always like a little bit of variation, but plus or minus 5 grams is like the kind of weight you couldn't even feel in your hand. So that's how we're able to calibrate our plates. And that's how we're able to calibrate like our dumbbell plates as well. And then like we subtract things, like, so we weigh like a bare part and then we weigh a coated part. So we know how much weight the coating adds. And then same thing with like our dumbbell plates, we weigh the rivet and the spring and the coating. So we know how much to subtract off of that. It's actually a pretty cool process. And then for us, like we'll check, like we'll spot check stuff just to make sure that it's right. And then, but for the most part, a lot of my customers do that. You'll see the reviews of them throwing their plate on a kitchen scale and seeing how much it weighs. But our plates, just based on the process, they basically can never be like dramatically off, just based on how they're made.
Okay. All right. So if you hey, we got Jennifer Martinez. Jen, we just looked at your video. Let's see, about maybe, so it's probably about 30 minutes ago. I had your video on there. I'm so impressed by your lift, and I appreciate you tagging me in that lift and showing it to me. I want you to keep on tagging me, and then definitely the meat videos. I want to see those too. We're now talking to Mike Reed of Micro Gainz, and he's giving us a little bit of inside baseball, because what he was just talking about is how they make chips. So the process that you use is, I would assume, similar. Is that industry standard for how to make fractional plates?
No.
Okay,
no.
So that's the way that you guys do
That's
it.
how we make them. Like I said, we are the only company that make them like this. Most companies make them out of steel. Pretty much all out of steel or like rubber. You can get like the bumper microplates, which makes no sense. But yeah, you can get those too.
Yeah, I'm not about that. So I brought it up because Jennifer specifically lifts. She competes in powerlifting, and so she's familiar with chips. In fact, her PR was 200.50 pounds. So awesome. She had the chips on there.
Love the odd numbers.
And so, and she said she knows who you are. She is a customer. So, there you go. All right. So I like that you were able to describe that process because, again, think about the fact that world records are set sometimes. Have your plates been used in competition yet?
Yeah, so I've been a sponsor for a couple of years of the 100% Raw Powerlifting Federation. Okay. They're pretty big into like one of the specifically like strict curl has become really popular over the last couple of years.
Yeah, definitely.
And we have a set of our kilogram fractional plates are a 1/4 kilogram and 1/2 kilogram are at every powerlifting meet. Like we sent like 20 some sets out to all the meet directors across the country. So pretty much all PRs, if you're doing it 100% raw powerlifting, is set with the Micro Gainz plate on there.
Man, that's outstanding, man. I just love. I was telling Kim Friesen, when I interviewed him, he's the guy who founded Barbell Rescue. I was telling him, I said, man, I love it when somebody is essentially in their home gym. I mean, we're always in our home gyms tinkering. And when somebody's in their home gym and they're tinkering and they come up with something, and then that thing blossoms beyond because I'm sure you didn't see that. What you just said That's not something that Mike from 2016 would have thought, hey, I'm going to have a powerlifting federation using my stuff. And that like, has it sunk into you the impact of what you just said? Like, pretty much if you set a PR or a world record, it was done with my plates.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, in such like a rush of running your business, you kind of forget about the small wins. Like I always say that I don't celebrate the small stuff enough, or really celebrate the wins enough. Sometimes you do have something like that, and I don't even think about it. It's like, oh, it's just like another thing, but it is. You're right. It's actually it's a really big deal, and something that we probably should spend more time talking about, and we don't. You know, we just go on to the next thing, the next product, filling orders, whatever that looks like. Always looking at the horizon and running towards it. So. But yeah, no, it's a great point. I remember early on thinking that like I wanted to do like be at the Arnold and have microplates up there, and then but then they'll have a sponsor like Rogue or something, and it's tough to get in your plates. And I was like, that'd be great if like the Mountain Hathor was like pulling the 1,048 pounds on the stage, and it was a Micro Gainz plate on there. I remember thinking that was like a big deal whenever we were just really into fractional plates initially, and then we got into the product that you mentioned before, the dumbbell plate, which is our most successful product we've launched to date.
Okay. So before I go any further, you guys do me a favor, and I've already got this right here. I am trying to hit 50,000 subscribers. We are at 25, a little bit over 25,000 right now, so we're halfway there. But do me a favor, hit that like button and then hit that subscribe button. And if you've already subscribed, do me a favor and share the video with somebody else and tell them, hey, there's this nutcase that every Friday morning is going to be extremely loud, and he's going to give you something to listen to as you prepare for your day that is home gym focused. I'm going to always have guests coming on. And then my other video that I do is some sort of upload to help you get better in your home gym. So go ahead, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button, and I greatly appreciate that. So you mentioned, we mentioned that Jennifer, she has a home gym, and you were talking about, the different products that you have. So I'm assuming you're taking us, basically something from each one of your product line, right? So you're going to have one of each essentially at HomeGymCon. But what else can people expect from your booth? They're going to get there. They're going to see kilo plates. They're going to see the barbell fractional plates. They're going to see the dumbbell plates, I assume. But just kind of talk about what you're thinking about. Give us a sneak peek into what we can expect from your booth at HomeGymCon 2024.
Yeah, we are, like you mentioned, definitely going to have our fractional plates there, our 1-inch plates, the dumbbell plates. We'll have the new dumbbell plate will be there. So we have a pre-order going on right now. Our 2.5 pound dumbbell plate, which we've been selling for a year. This guy, which is quite a bit bigger, you can see, than this guy. This is our 1.25, our best-selling product. Our 2.5 is a big one as well, because it allows you to go up by 5 pounds on dumbbells. So you can skip purchasing the 55s, the 65s, the 75s, and just get these and clamp them onto your dumbbell plate. We got a lot of feedback that it was too thick. And what happens is it takes up too much space on your dumbbell handle. When you put your hand on there, you have another plate. It takes up too much space.
Right,
so
okay, yeah.
We would thin it out due to customer feedback. So that's actually this product. And you can see them here. I'll just throw them up.
And so that's why it's a bigger diameter, because you want to keep the weight the same. Okay.
Right. But it's almost a 1/4 inch like thinner.
Oh yeah, I can see that. There's a difference. It's like
I'm
trying to think like a 1/4 pounder versus a regular hamburger patty.
Yeah, exactly. And now you're getting, so the diameter is bigger by about a 1/2 inch all the way around, which isn't too much, but you are getting the same thickness of the 2.5 as you get with the 1.25. So that's going to be big. That's going to save people a lot of space and like a lot of grip. Like we've gotten people that, they give us that feedback. That's probably the biggest piece of feedback. And like when we initially came out with it, it was just how we could make it at the time. And basically a few things have changed, talked to different manufacturers, and now we're able to make something. This is 3D printed plastic. We're able to make something that's like a little bit bigger in diameter, but is going to like really save your grip, I guess. And you're not going to have that problem where you can't fit your hand there. So we're going to have those. We're going to have the Vintage Gainz. Me and Rob from Vintage Weights PGH collaborated on a product called Vintage Gainz. What this does is it magnetizes
calibration.
A weight plate. Correct. So if your 45-pound plate weighs 44.5 pounds, you can magnetize this 1/2 pound Vintage Gainz to it to make it 45 pounds, like a self-calibration kit. Rob will also be there, so we'll have those. And then we have a few prototypes we're working on right now that
Rob has got like he's got one of the most melodious voices. I told him, he's on that short list of people I want to hear read me the label to a can of Ovaltine.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, it's just like, hi.
Yes, he has
and that's like in person.
Podcast voice. Yeah. I was on his show. It's good. We worked together on this product, and he had the idea. We made it happen, and we've been selling them in sets. So we'll have that. Rob will be at HomeGymCon as well, talking about it, probably over at my booth a little bit. And then we do have some new products that we're working on. So if you've seen some of my recent social media, we've been talking a lot about adjustable dumbbells, just like different sets. So what happens is customers ask me, hey, do your dumbbell plates fit whatever set of dumbbells? The Nuo Bell, the Snowed, the True Lap, the Power Blocks, et cetera, et cetera. I get this question a lot. Most of the time, I don't own all those dumbbells, so I depend on customers to send me like pictures or videos, and all like, yes, it works on the Power Block Pro, but not the Elite, or no, it doesn't work on the Nuo Bell. The handle's too short, things like that. So we sort of went on a quest this year. I did to get those dumbbells and sort of take a look at them and see, are there other ways to add incremental weight to them? So we're going to have some prototypes. I won't go into too much more detail than that. We'll have some prototypes at HomeGymCon for people to look at and test on some dumbbells. So we're not planning, well, I can't say I did put out this video. I was like, we're not planning on adjustable dumbbells. That's, it's a market.
I'm about to say, I did see that where you were like, I was like, hold on,
maybe.
Man.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. But kind of, in similar fashion to the micro plates, where I'm looking at a lot of these adjustable dumbbells, seeing what's good about them, seeing what's not good, hearing the feedback, listening to reviews from some of the people on YouTube that have talked about it, and trying to be like, okay, is this something here that maybe we could take a look at? And Micro Gainz is very focused on like niche products. Like we don't do big stuff. Like our biggest barbell plate's a 10-pound plate. We make laser cut steel, 2.5, 5s, and 10s. We've had those for a couple of years. And we've never decided to go on to like a 25 or a 45. It's never really been in the cards for us. Too many companies make it. Too many companies make it well. And it's just not it's not us. So we look more at the niche stuff and maybe exploiting something that people aren't thinking about, or making a product that maybe is out there, but just making it a little bit better, and making it USA made. So that's what you can expect from us. I'll be there. My wife will be there. I was going to have my worker, my operations manager, can't make it because he has a concert that same weekend of all weekends. He had something that he already had purchased, so we'll be there, and it'll be pretty exciting. So I'm pumped. I don't know if you've seen the map. You've probably seen the map with all the companies.
Oh yeah.
And I have just a 10x10 booth, like, which is pretty big. Like I was at the Arnold back in 2019, and we had a 10x10 there. And I got like, yeah, that's perfect for me. Like we have a lot of micro products, right? So I can fit it all on a table. And like, I'm looking at the map, and there's like, everyone has like so much space, like Rogues, like huge space, and Rep, and even like some of the smaller companies, it looks like they bought like 7 booths. And I'm like, did I miss the boat? Should I have bought like 8 booths? And I bought 1, and I'm like, you can see like Micro Gainz just a little bit on that map whenever you look at it, but we'll be there. So,
okay. So there's a lot in there. So first,
sure.
I want to go ahead and get some questions from the chat, and then I got some follow-up questions because the stuff you said just got my brain going, right? So Jennifer Martinez says her dumbbells max out at 50s, so it would be perfect to get 55s and 60s. And then Justin pointed out that Jared Freeman, who is he's actually a member of my Discord. He's got some of your dumbbell plates, and he really likes them. So let's back up a little bit. First thing is, you mentioned that you don't really have like all the different iterations of adjustable dumbbells and dumbbells out there, right?
Right.
So we always think about, because I was at the first HomeGymCon. I couldn't wait to get there. When I found out about the thing, I got really excited about it. And so we always think about it from the standpoint of the consumer. We're coming in there and we get to see all this stuff. But what I ended up seeing when I was there was a lot of companies collaborating, because a lot of the companies that were there were smaller companies. I mean, you did have Rep Fitness that was there. You did have Bells of Steel. But a lot of the companies were smaller or relatively small companies. Like AdMat isn't tiny, but they're not huge, right? And they were there. And I saw companies collaborating, making deals. They're networking, right? And I know that and this kind of relates to something else I was going to ask you, but it's like, yeah, you can get feedback from customers. And you got testimonials on your website, you know, showing like what people think of your product. But how exciting is it to know that you're going to get feedback from people like right then and there? They'll be able to say, hey, can I take this right over there and try it on that? Because rep is going to be there. They're probably going to have their adjustable dumbbell handles there. Adjustable dumbbells there. They say, hey, can I take that right over to the rep booth and try it out? Because in case you're wondering, that's why their booths are so big.
Yeah.
Because there's a morning workout. And that's why I said you probably don't need a big booth like that, because there's a morning workout. And so people are going to be trying out the product. So you got to have enough space to do, you know, for, you know, 20 people to be able to trying out the rep booth and the, you know, the Bells of Steel and Rogue and all that all at the same time. They need space. So people don't get clocked themselves in the face with a barbell when the person next to them. But how exciting is that for you, knowing that somebody can go try your product and come right back and give you that instant feedback?
That's super important to have that element there. I've actually thought about, even from myself as a standpoint of like when I'm going to have downtime, of taking my dumbbell plates and walking around to the different bars that I've never seen in person, but heard about, and testing them myself. I think customers will, like you just said, like if you have the rep dumbbells, the new ones that they have, the quick draws, and it'd be great. Hey, can I just borrow this and go check it out on a dumbbell and see if it fits with my hand, or check a new bell, or check whatever else might be there. I think that is like you're right. The instant feedback will be great. I think the nice thing about HomeGymCon versus the Arnold is it's all going to be, you know, it's home gym related. There's not as much of the fluff of the random companies, not any, I don't know if there's any like supplement companies or apparel. It's equipment and people that really know, and anyone that's going to go there is really into fitness and home gyms, basement gyms, garage gyms, whatever that is. So a lot of knowledge. I expect most people to know who we are because we've been around and we're in that space. And,
yeah, I'm a big deal. You know.
Right. We, like, come on, you know, we're gonna know, you know, but yeah, I think that it'll be, it's going to be a nice experience from probably getting, like you said, immediate feedback on even our products, or we'll have the new 2.5 and they'll be like, oh, that's great, it's thinner, or oh, I don't like X about this, or have you thought about trying this, or, you know, I'm hoping to network a little bit as well with some of these companies who, like, I know a lot of the founders and we've been on some podcasts together and I've talked to people behind the scenes, but it is nice to finally meet people in person and put a face to the name for sure.
So I actually have an idea for a product, and I just want you to make it. I don't even want any credit. Actually, and so that happens to me a lot. I'll get ideas for products, and I just talk to somebody, like whoever it seems appropriate. Say, hey man, I think you should make this, right? And then I'm like, you don't even have to give me any credit. I just want it to exist, you know. Sure. So I'll tell you after this is over.
All right.
But I just think it'd be kind of, it just seems to make sense to me, right? So I know you've been to the Arnold, and there's a big difference between the Arnold, which I've been to several times, and both as just somebody going there, and both in like a media capacity. And number one, HomeGymCon, like you said, is more intimate.
Yeah,
because it's not only that, it's only people who are home gym owners, unlike the Arnold, where it's just everybody, right? I mean, you got people who are into whatever. I mean, they have painting at the Arnold. They have painting, you know. But it's also that Jake on purpose limits the tickets. So when people are getting, the attendees are getting tickets, and he's like, hey, we got 15 tickets left, it's because he said on purpose he wants it to make it so that it's not like it's exclusionary, but you can get a quality experience. So people have time to come up to booths like yours and talk to you and say, hey, this is what I was thinking about this, and get in-depth discussing your product with you, you know, as opposed to at the Arnold, you might stand in line for literally an hour to buy something, and then that's it. You get maybe 5 minutes and people don't have time to talk to you. You got to buy it and get out of there, you know. I know that's exciting, but is it also intimidating? Because everybody that you talk to is like a nerd about equipment to a certain extent. Does that also a little bit intimidating?
Not for me. I like the questions. There's nothing that I'm more knowledgeable about than Micro Gainz, and I don't mind the feedback. I mean, it's always, and I'll give it right back. So if you have a certain piece of like why I think it should be made like this, and I can say, hey, this is why we do it like this. We can go have a dialogue back and forth. I enjoy talking to people. It's why I've done. That's why we had the Arnold booth. That's why I've done some booths at these 100% raw powerlifting meets, and we've done a booth. We had something with a Logic a while back. So I like going out and doing these things. I would have been at 2023 HomeGymCon actually. If my wife, we just had a baby and she was pregnant and very close to her due date, and I decided I couldn't go up to French Lick and just leave her here. But yeah, I invite that feedback from people. I'm excited to talk to people, and I'm sure that they'll give me some pieces that maybe I didn't think about, and I look forward to that.
Your wife, by the way, is going to love. I mean, well, hey, you'll love it. Not just HomeGymCon, but I don't know how much she's going to be with you, especially like if she brings the baby. But I mean, I'm assuming you've talked to other people who have been there. So there's a spa in the hotel. I saw people who like maybe they brought their wives, they took their kids or whatever. There's a bowling alley where
Cool.
my daughter and I took my daughter downstairs and I introduced her to video games.
Yeah.
She had never. So with the two of us, we played Space Invaders, which was really cool. I'm in my 50s, right? And so I remember when Space Invaders was actually in the arcade. I remember going to arcades to play video games. And so it was really cool having that experience with her. That's something I actually anticipated when I was thinking about HomeGymCon. It was like, I'm going to this home gym thing, but it actually ended up benefiting us and giving us some additional things that were, I guess I could say were not tangential, but they're also memories that I wouldn't have gotten if I hadn't gone. So she's really going to love that as well. Have you talked to like the other vendors who were there? I know you talked to Rob, obviously, but have you talked to other vendors who were there to kind of get an idea of like what to expect from HomeGymCon?
I talked to Jason from Surplus Strength, talked to Dylan.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you were really tight with him.
Yeah. So I've talked to a couple, and just to kind of get an idea, actually, guys, I was messaging here a couple weeks ago. I was like, did you guys, are you staying at the resort? Where are you guys staying? Are you getting the meal ticket? Stuff like that, just to kind of get the vibe of what everyone's doing. I talked to Jake.
I can tell you that meal ticket. I hate to cut you off, but that meal ticket is huge because you get to have dinner with other people. And that is one of the things when we did our HomeGymCon 2023 wrap-up reaction thing. I just got a bunch of people together. We all did a live stream and say, hey, what did you like? What did you not like? The meals, the dinner was one of the number one things because everybody loved being able to hang out with the vendors and be able to, like, again, dig deep and just, hey, why did you do this? This is what goes on with me in my home gym. And you kind of just get to know your customer base, even though as a home gym owner yourself, you are your customer base, but it's still really, really cool. Like I said, man, people are able to just build relationships. And I always say to any business, people like to shop and support businesses that are owned by people who they know, like, and trust. And there's nothing to me that is as valuable as being able to build that relationship. And nothing builds a relationship like sharing a meal with somebody in a way that doesn't feel hurried. You spending time out there on that back deck terrace, talking shop, and then you're having that dinner to follow that up, and you're just spending time. There's no pressure for anything else. You just kind of just hang out, man. That is such a huge. I can't emphasize enough how big a deal those dinners are. So anyway, but go ahead.
Good to know.
I'm telling you, you sit there and you sit with random people. I mean, it's not like it's assigned seats. So you kind of just sit with people you have an affinity for.
Sure.
And by the end of the meal, you guys are friends. If you weren't friends before. So that is so huge.
Yeah. Once again, I talked to Jake the most just to get an idea because I did miss it late last year, just to see kind of what to expect, when to unload, what day to arrive. And then we sort of have all of our itinerary planned out now. And I kind of expect it to, I guess in my mind, I think I know how it's going to go. But I'm still definitely still like excited, a little nervous. Obviously there'll be a lot more companies this year, a lot of bigger companies this year. I mean, I'm familiar with most of the companies there, obviously. And then I'm familiar with some of the founders from a lot of those companies as well. So it'll be cool to chop it up with some of those guys.
Yeah. And then of course you'll have like the other events like the deadlift party and stuff like that. So
Sure.
there'll be periods of time where you can kind of just like,
Yeah.
and you'll have cool stuff to look at, I
Yeah.
usually, I mean, this is only the second one, but my normal habit is I get there and I walk around interviewing people because it's easier for me when I first get there, or even first thing in the morning during the group workouts. I'll go around and I interview people because I'm trying to get the content for the channel, because I try to be the eyes of people who wish they were there or didn't even know about it and who weren't able to get there. So I walk around and I do that kind of stuff. And then during the group workout, I actually, I go ahead and I work out as well. I try out the stuff too, because that's going to help me out in terms of doing reviews and just, for what I do, I need to be familiar with it. Plus, I mean, I got to work out anyway, right? So I do that. I try to do at least one circus lift just because I'm that kind of person. My wife says I'm the shenanigans coordinator. So I try to not only do something crazy, but also get somebody else to do it with me, if I can. So yeah, that's always a good time. So you'll have interesting things to see and do there. It's I'd say the Arnold's cool, but their times, there's a certain point in the day where it's kind of just like, okay, man, I've been on my feet all day on this concrete and it's rough. I just want to go back to the hotel and reflect on how tired I am, and for me, HomeGymCon wasn't like that, because there's something new happening all the time. So I think you're really going to like it, man. As we wrap up, because I promise to not keep you too long, this is probably the question everybody who's going to go to HomeGymCon wants to know the answer to. Can they buy stuff there, and will you be offering discounts, the HomeGymCon discount? So will people be able to buy your stuff? That's two questions. Will people be able to buy stuff from you on site? And will you be offering any sort of event discount for people who are there?
Yes, to both. We'll have a small supply of stuff we'll bring. I have a truck. I'm going to pack it full of stuff. We're going to drive up. I'm about 8 hours from French Lick. So my wife and I are going to drive the truck up, have it loaded with the Micro Gainz products, all the stuff you'll see on display, as well as some dumbbell plates and some fractional plates for sale. And once we sell out of that, we'll probably be able to point you in the direction of our website, and we can, obviously ship it right to your house if you order on our website. Well, I still have my guys. I have a couple of employees that will be working on that and taking a look for those orders. And we'll definitely do some type of discount for people that are there at HomeGymCon to enjoy their Micro Gainz gear. And then if we don't have the product, obviously you can get that discount code on the website that week. So I did talk to a lot of people actually about bringing product home. So like when I did the Arnold a couple of years ago, I'll be honest, we did terrible. And we were much newer then. Like this was like 2019. So I brought a lot of product there. I actually got a U-Haul, brought some stuff up because I just heard like there's going to be like 100,000 people there over the whole weekend. And we got a normal, I think it was a 10 by 10 booth. We were actually right across from Rogue, and people didn't buy stuff. And from a perspective of, I understand why now that people don't want to walk around holding weights all day, like you just mentioned, walking around on concrete all day and you're tired. Although it didn't stop at the time, Bang Energy was extremely popular. It didn't have people there for buying cases of Bang. But let
me jump in there. All right, those people are what they call amateurs. All right.
Yeah.
Let Uncle John give y'all a tip. All right. So if you go to any fitness expo, you take a backpack. All right. That's step one. Buy a backpack. All right. And it needs to be a big backpack. All right. This is one of the things where you actually get to take a backpack in. A lot of times when you go to big events, they don't let you take a backpack. The Arnold that lets you take a backpack as well. You need to get a big backpack. I recommend the one from Athletic Over Everything. Okay. Because it's huge. Anyway, you go there and everything you buy, they're going to give you a bag, right? So take the stuff they give you, stuff all those bags into your backpack.
Smart.
Then once you've got everything you want, this is on day one. Once you've got everything you want, take it back to your hotel, because you can go in and out. So do this at HomeGymCon too. Take it back to your hotel room and drop it off. Then go back to the expo. This is for the Arnold, whatever. Go back to the expo. And now you walk around, you got nothing in your hands, and you just enjoy the day. Okay?
That's a pro tip. Pro
I'm
tip.
telling. Look, I've been going to expos. I've been going to expos for a long time. I promise you, you do not want to walk around carrying stuff. First of all, it's crowded. It won't be. It's going to be crowded enough at HomeGymCon. It's not going to be as crowded as the Arnold, where you need like a lubricant to walk between people. But there's going to be a fair amount of people there, and even if there weren't, why you want to walk around with all this stuff? That's
Sure.
don't show yourself some love. Take a backpack, buy all your stuff, take it back. Here's another pro tip, and this is actually leads to something I believe you're about to touch on. If somebody buys something from you, but they're like, well, I don't want to, I don't want to have to worry about, transporting it home. Can they buy it from you? So I'm standing right next to you. I say, I'm going to buy this from your website using the discount code because I'm here. I just want you to ship it to my house. So when I get home, I want it to be there. Would you be able to do that?
Yeah, that would be very simple. Our website's pretty intuitive, easy to use, and yeah, we ship everything next business day. So you order it that day, we're gonna ship it to the next day, and it'll probably be your house in a couple days. So
there you go. All right, so that's 2 tips that if you're listening to this, you didn't even realize you're gonna get. All right, we're in the business of helping people. All right. Well, man, I think let me go ahead and throw this up here one more time because I want people to visit your website. Visit microgainz.com. It is going across the bottom of the screen right here. It is also going to be, the link is going to be in the description for this video, so you guys can check it out. Please support this company. So he's a home gym owner. He's one of us. All right. And he's making products based upon his experience, just like you guys wish people would make when you're in your home gym. So this is a worthy cause. I'm going to be buying some stuff from you, but I plan on buying it at HomeGymCon because I'm actually going to be, it's a little bit of a tangent, but that's what I do. I'm actually going to be at the point in my training cycle when the gains are going to be a little bit, the weight increase is going to be a little bit tougher, like you were alluding to.
yeah.
And so I've got 1 1/4 plates.
Okay.
I don't have, but I'd like to have 1 pound plates. It'd be nice to have 2 pound plates. It'd be nice to have ½ pound plates. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
so I want to kind of fit those niches right there, kind of fill those holes. And I love the fact that you have a set. So that's going to be huge. So I planned on just grabbing a pair while I was up at HomeGymCon. That's one of the things that's on my wish list of stuff to buy.
Cool.
The candy I'm going to bring home with me to play with it here in the home gym. But you guys see that, visit microgainz.com. Also, if you want to keep up with Mike, also if you want to see that prototype video he was talking about, you want to follow at Micro Gainz on all social media platforms. Mike, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get the big screen one more time by yourself. What do you want to let people know before we jet out of here that they may not know about Micro Gainz, or something that people need to, people always forget to ask you? You're like, man, how come nobody ever asked me this? All right, it could be anything. Go ahead and the floor is yours, my man.
Well, like you said before, if you want to check us out on social media, we're at Micro Gainz on Instagram and Facebook, TikTok. We have a small YouTube channel that I mostly post shorts to. If you need to reach out to me, you can DM me on Instagram. That's actually the fastest way to reach us. We answer all DMs, and you can email me at mike@microgainz.com, and we answer all the emails. We do it in a timely manner. I think that I always say we never get enough credit for our customer service, I guess I'll say, where you email us, we actually get back to customers. We get back to customers right away. We answer questions. I'm a real person. There is no bot. There is no 3 to 5 day wait time. When there's a warranty problem on your product, we send you out a new one. We send you out the shipping information. We ship our products very next business day. You order today on 2/2. Today's actually maybe not a good example, but on Friday, we're gonna ship it out on Monday. But if you order on Monday, we ship it Tuesday. I don't think we talk about that thing we do with Micro Gainz, is that we ship everything next day, and we're very big on customer service and listening to our customers. Hence that 2.5 pound dumbbell plate. We heard a lot of feedback. It's too thick. We made it thinner, and we know that we started a pre-order and people are already interested in that product. So we are very big into customer service and making it work for people. We're not in the business of no, we're in the business of yes at Micro Gainz. And however we can help you, we do our very best. And I just don't think I think that's something we don't get enough credit for. I feel like you hear so many horror stories from companies or bigger companies that don't answer emails and don't get back, and the service is bad, and the chat bot didn't work, and they don't get back to me for 3 to 5 days, or my order got lost, but no one answers. Even on Amazon, which there's a lot of nameless, faceless companies on Amazon, where we also sell on Amazon, but you can still reach out to us on there and we get back to you very quickly. And I pride myself on that, and we always plan to do that here.
All right. Well, my man, I really appreciate you being here. It was phenomenal having you on. I'd love to have you come back on again. And I definitely want to interview you at HomeGymCon. So when I get there, like I said, I'm going to head on over to your booth, and I think it's going to be a good time. I'll be doing a fair amount of live streaming from there, but also just like some video uploads. And I'm going to head over to you, and I definitely want to spend some time hanging out at your booth.
Yeah.
And my goal is to be your first customer, because I'm going to buy it, throw it in my backpack, take it back to my room, and then come back down and get to work, and enjoy the rest of the event. So I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much for joining me. For everyone else, I appreciate you guys for being here for the way too early for a Friday podcast. This is sort of a bit of an experiment, man. And you guys don't know how much it made me happy. And it was gratifying to see those of you who joined me here, join in the chat and everything else, and people who weren't able to chat, but I can see YouTube shows me how many viewers we had. And I appreciate each and every one of you who was here. Please, once again, share this. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. But more than that, please share this video with other people. Let them know what we're doing. I'm trying to do something a little bit different. I want to give you interesting home gym content. So it's interesting, but it's also related to what you love, your passion for training at home. And the best way I can do that is by getting more subscribers. But more than that, when you guys jump in here, we're going to be here at 6:30 in the morning. Jump in here with me, and you throw your comments in there. That helps YouTube know that this is something that they need to show other people, and the channel is just going to grow because of that. But it doesn't just benefit me, it benefits you guys. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Hit the like and subscribe button. If you want to support the channel, there are two ways to do that. There is a shopping button in the bottom corner. You can go ahead and click that shopping button, and you'll see products from the Garage Gym Life store, like this t-shirt I'm wearing, and then also just products that, even if you're watching on a replay, there are also products that are, I use to make this. So like the microphone I use, just, and then some just other things that are a part of this, and that supports the channel. The other thing you can do is go to shop.gcodenutrition.com and use promo code BESTGYMINTOWN at checkout, and that will support the channel. But it also will give you some really cool supplements, because that's where I get my pre-workout, including the pre-workout I drank that had me entirely way too hyped this morning. So you guys can grab that. It's got some good stuff. They got a sleep supplement that I really believe in, and it's just good stuff. It's also owned by a home gym owner, Greg Sensaciro, and so I really believe in the product, so I wouldn't tell you guys about them. So you can do that. All right. Once again, thank you guys for joining me here at the Way Too Early for Friday podcast. Next week, I will have Ashley Haramiak here. Ashley is, as I said, she is an IFBB pro, and she is going to be she's going to be answering your questions. She gets tons of questions on her Instagram account all the time, and we said, hey, let's bring you on in here, and you can answer some of those questions here, and it's going to be a good time. And then you guys will also be able to add your questions in the chat as well, because she's an IFBB pro, as I said, as well as being a college professor. She's got a master's in kinesiology, so she's an awesome person, and I look forward to chatting with her. Once again, I'm John Greaves III, founder of Garage Gym Life, and I'll see you guys next week.